What's good, Magic fans? Welcome to episode 33 of Orlando Magic UK's Penny for Your Thoughts podcast. I'm joined, as always, by my two companions, Mr. Paul Bacon. How are we, mate?
All right, matey. How's yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm better now than I was this morning.
A little tender, I understand.
A few too many sherbets yesterday. Went on an all-day sesh, so had too many craft beers. So I'm all right now, thank you.
They open the pubs and you're back at it like a pig at a tater.
Yeah, got to be done though, isn't it? Surprised you haven't been down the pub, mate.
I might have had a visit.
Yeah.
Mate, have you seen the alcohol in Paul's house? He could own a pub.
Yeah, we've not been going without. Trust me, we've not been going without. None of that Carling stuff, all the Bud Light stuff that you'd have, OG.
No, that's true. That's true. Mr. Mikey Clark, how are we, sir?
As Cole Anthony would say, yeah. Yeah. I'm good.
I'm born for this.
I'm good, man.
Cool. And we are delighted to be joined today by Mr. Chris Page from Plymouth. How are you, mate? I can't speak now. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, boys.
Excellent. So before we start, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, Chris, and how you got to be a fan of the Magic?
Well, I've been a fan since the get-go, before the first season. I've got family and relatives in the States. So, yeah, I mean, I first started watching in 1988, Jordan with the dunk contest, all that kind of stuff. And I found out, through family that Orlando were bringing a team into the league, among others. And I'd been there, and that was like as good a reason as any to kind of adopt them. And that was it. But I mean, it was impossible to follow the first few years. It was teletext and NTSC tapes and stuff like that. So it wasn't really until the Summer Olympics in '92. And I think that kind of, in Europe, it all kicked off then for us. And we'd got Shaq as well. And I think, it really started from there. So I claim it's 89. But 92 is really when it became easy to follow over here.
Yeah, that's cool. So we'll get to the guest section like we do every week in a little bit. We'll just go through the weekly roundup, and we have quite a few games to get through, 5 in fact, since the last recording. So a couple of bits of news since the last podcast. Devin Kennedy suffered an open right ankle dislocation with a severe lateral ankle sprain in a game against the Indiana Pacers. We signed Moe Wagner for the remainder of the season. He was drafted 25th overall in 2018 and cut recently by the Celtics. Chuma Okeke sprained his left ankle against the Cavs in the week. And then just today, we signed Ignas Brusdakis on a 10-day contract, releasing Dante Hall. Yeah, it's a shame that, isn't it?
Yeah, I've not seen that.
Oh, do you not?
No.
Yeah,
no. At least
Dante Hall was pretty good. Yeah, no, I was telling Mikey I was practicing this name beforehand, and I think I got it down to a T.
I mean, what have they done that for? Are they deliberately trying to make me look daft on this?
Basically.
It's like, yeah, Christ, I struggle with Oladipo. Oh, I've done it now.
Yeah, so Brusdakis will wear the number 17 with the team and join up today, so we may see him feature tomorrow against the Pistons. On to last week's games then. We lost to the Indiana Pacers 131-112. This is the game where Kennedy got injured early on in the first quarter. The story of this, really, we were down 5 at the half, but a 41-20 third quarter to the Pacers basically put the game out of reach. Cousin Dwayne, Bacon for Paul led the way with 20 points. Second game was, the loss to the LA Lakers, 114-103. Chuma Okeke led the way with 18 points. Gary Harris 17, and then Cole Anthony had 15 and 7. Game of runs. Orlando were down 12 after the first, led by 6 at the half, led by 1 after 3, but the Lakers pulled away in the fourth. making a barrage of threes with about 5 minutes to go. Third game of the week, we beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland. The Magic did squander a 23-point fourth quarter lead before eventually winning the game by 5. Team was led by Harris with 19, Anthony 18, and Okeke 18. However, Okeke did suffer his injury in this game. Side note, that was Moe Wagner's first game in a Magic uniform. Fourth game was a loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. This is probably the ugliest game of basketball we've seen in a very long time.
It was dire, wasn't it?
Yeah. So this was the first of a home and home back-to-back. As mentioned, no Okeke due to the sprained left ankle. Cole Anthony got 15, Bamba got 15 and 11, and we'll move on from that one. So that brings us to last night's encounter with the Grizzlies. This one was a bit more fun, wasn't it? Cole Anthony making a 3 with 0.1 second left when the Magic were down 2 after a Dylan Brooks jumper with 7 seconds to go. Anthony had a career night, scoring 26 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in 36 minutes. Wagner chipped in with 24 points and Bacon 23. I think Hampton also got a career high in 18 points. So it's always nice to have a buzzer beater, isn't it? Thoughts on that game, guys?
Mate, honestly, what was what was everybody's reaction? Was it yes as that 3 went in, or was it what are you doing? Because that was a mixture of both.
Yes. You've got to celebrate that.
Yeah,
just
I agree.
Look how happy Cole was, and his teammates. They just love this guy. The team all seem to love each other. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? I mean, you can talk about tanking this and that all you want, but it was great.
Yeah. To come back from 20 points down the way we did, and to finish like that.
Especially it was smashing the team that walloped us. I mean, they walloped us the night before, so to come back the next night and give them back to them and say, off you go.
Yeah. It wasn't just Cole, was it? I mean, RJ Hampton chipped in with a big 3 late on when Memphis probably could have sealed it. When they up 6 and they had a fast break and then we turned the ball over, we came down the other side, hit a 3, make it one possession game. So, a lot of positives from that. And Wagner chipping in. So thoughts on this week? I'll go to Mikey first. Cole Anthony's play this week and, of course, last night. What are your thoughts, mate?
Just taking his game up another level every week at the moment, isn't he? Another big shot down the stretch. I think what they're starting to figure out is how to make these game-to-game adjustments. Like Chris already said, we got smashed on Friday by the biggest deficit this season that we've lost by. And we had 20 turnovers in that game. Last night, we only had 10. They were looked after the ball a lot better. Their execution down the stretch obviously kept us in the game and gave us a chance down the last few minutes. The young players made the big shots towards the end. Like I said, Hampton and Cole and Wagner made a big 3. So yeah, I love it. I think everyone's going to remember the shot, but obviously the post-game interview is just absolutely awesome. Class. It's just up there if the Timberwolves win as well. And I loved it when he even said, "Oh, thanks Denver for giving us Hampton and Gary Harris for AG." And it was quality. What was it? Leaving him on an island with Anderson. He worried for him after that one. So no quality again from Cole.
Yeah. Anything else to add to that, boys? Or are you in agreement?
Oh, totally. Chris. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, the interview was just awesome. You just got to love his enthusiasm. He's just a competitor and wants to win. It's brilliant to see.
It was one of those games. I rang you this morning, Paul, didn't I? As soon as in our WhatsApp group, you were like, "I've watched it." I was straight on FaceTime to you because I wanted to speak to somebody about it.
And you hadn't even finished typing. No, that's it. I'd only just finished typing, watched, and sent it as my phone rang. FaceTime. What? And then, like I said, what about the game interview? I've literally typed, watched as the buzzer's gone in. Just turn it up so I can hear the interview again, and I'm watching with you. I was in stitches. It was brilliant. In fact, as soon as Heather, my daughter's walked in, like, you've got to see this. You've got to see this. So she's watched the buzzer beater in his interview. Quality, loved it.
He's just got such a good attitude, though, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's just got that tenacity, that confidence, that little bit of cockiness about him, which I think you need at that level.
You need to be a good player. You need that little bit of arrogance, that little bit of confidence. That
Absolutely.
if you've got to have confidence in your own ability, otherwise you aren't going to be the player that you can be.
So with Cole Anthony playing so well, and of course we've got Markelle coming back next season, who would you play next year? I've got to ask it. Chris? We'll go to Chris first.
That's a tough question. I really like Markelle, and I feel terrible for him, for all the stuff that, for him to come back. Last season, he had such a good year. I mean, can we play him together? I don't know. I think, well, Cole's going to start the season, surely, because Fultz isn't going to be ready, is he, at the beginning of the season?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
You're going to ease him in, and they're just going to have to compete for the spot, which, I mean, it's going to be good for everybody in a sense. Competition is going to bring him up. But Cole, the thing with Cole is his attitude is better even than his play, because his attitude is going to rub off on everybody. And it will just raise everybody up. To have a positive attitude, say I love this team when this team is losing all the time, is that he's got an attitude above his age. You know what I mean? He's like a grown-up. I mean, his dad was a player and stuff, and I'm sure that helped. But yeah, to answer your question, mate, I have no clue.
I've literally just had this conversation with Heather as we were watching it, and so you've got to assume who you've got to. The question is, who are we drafting to go with that? If we've got the number 1 draft pick, are we drafting Cade Cunningham? At which point you've got 4 very good young players to play as a backcourt pairing. So what do you do? I think that ultimately you're going to be looking at, as Chris has just said, Cole starting the season. When Markelle does come back and is available, I think you're looking at hopefully trying to play together, Cole and Markelle. You've got Cole can definitely play the 2. He's got the shot to be able to do it. We've seen that on at least 2 occasions now. So let's hope that it can work. I'm very excited with RJ. His explosive pace is something to really light up an arena. When he gets the ball, nobody's keeping pace with him. So we are in a really nice position. We've gone from who the hell do we have in a backcourt to who the hell do we play to actually get the best out of what we've got. It's a much better position than we were in 18 months ago.
I know it's a nice problem to have, but are any of you concerned we've almost got too much young guard, too many young guards in this roster, with possibly one to add to it in the draft as well? Yeah, Chris?
Yeah, I think if I had my choice in the draft, I would take Mobley.
Okay.
We've got an abundance of guards. I mean, it's no secret that I'm not sold on Moe, and it's nothing about hating the guy. He seems like the nicest bloke on the team, but I think, I don't know where you're going to put Cade in there. It's a nice problem to have. It's better to have lots of guards and lots of bigs. Remember a few years ago, we just constantly had bigs, like 1,000 forwards. Nobody could score. It was slow. So, I mean, I'd prefer to have a lot of guards, but I don't know. I'm not sure the draft is going to pan out for us.
Because it worries me. Was it 2014? Sorry, G, just to cut you off. 2014, 15. And we had such a young group there, like Tobias and Peyton and Oladipo, that they were almost out there trying to get their own, as opposed to players knowing what pecking order they were in, who was the number 1 option on the team offensively. And it's a difficult scenario, really, isn't it? But it's a good problem to have. You got your pick then. Yeah.
So, thoughts on the Wagner signing and the releasing of Franks? Paul?
Mate, I think Robert Franks had contributed. I'll do him first. He'd contributed. He'd played pretty well in the 7 games he'd been with us. 6.1 points per game, but let's be honest, he wasn't going to be anything more than a rotation player. I was sorry to see him go because I've liked his play. I liked his play when he was with us in the Summer League a couple of years back. But he isn't going to be a star. He isn't going to be a go-to guy. And now, Cole summed it up. Moe Wagner comes in. And you go, who? Okay, I knew he'd been at Washington. But he's come in. His first game, okay, he's only a couple of points, but he put himself about in a very few minutes. As everybody said, we got absolutely battered in Memphis. Nobody had a particularly brilliant game. And to come out and do what he did last night, his season high score of 24 points in his 3rd game, that was really good to see. He shot the ball well. More for me is he's just got that little bit of an edge. He's that sort of player that gets under your opponent's skin and puts them off their game. And we haven't had somebody that does that very effectively for a while. He got under Kyle Anderson's skin in Memphis, and he definitely got under both of them again last night. Valanciunas, he got under Valanciunas' skin as well. That is, it's equivalent to scoring some points. If you can put off one of their main players, and Valanciunas is that. Look at his rebounding stats for the league in the league this season, and number of points he puts in for them as a result of second chance points. If you can put somebody off, you are really assisting the team, and that's what he brought last night. More than, aside from the scoring, he brought that to the team, and I'm really pleased to see that we've got that little bit of grit and tenacity coming to the team because we need it. We could be too nice.
Yeah, I mean, Wagner's had a bit of a rough deal, actually, because he got traded away from the Lakers where he was drafted 28th, I think he was, in the Anthony Davis trade. So it was basically a salary dump so they could get Davis in. And like you said, he's bounced around a little bit. And again, he got cut because they were signing Jabari Parker. So in fairness to Hammond and Weltman, it's a nice picker, especially if he can stick around a little bit. So, no, I'm quite pleased with that one.
It's signed to the end of the season, so he's got the opportunity to show value. Look, we did it with Michael Carter-Williams. He came in, signed to the end of the season, showed his value, and Michael Carter-Williams has been valuable to us since his arrival. You get these opportunities, you've got to grab them because that's how you stay in the league.
Yeah. So, Chris, what are your thoughts on the moves that the team has made throughout the season, be it the trades, signing free agents, 10-day contracts? What are your thoughts on that, mate?
Well, at the trade deadline, when we moved Vooch, obviously I wasn't very happy with the return. But see, I don't watch a lot of other teams, so it was names on paper to me. And so you go on, you check their box score, as you do, and it was nothing special. But I've been really pleased with what we've got in return. Hampton's been fantastic. I mean, he's still a kid, and I know he's going to be up and down, but rookies are always up and down. You look past what he does, you look past his stats, and you just look at what he does in the game, and you can see that there's a future. He's got a future there. He's going to be something. Gary Harris, I don't know about Gary Harris. Otto Porter, I'm not even sure what's going on with Otto Porter. I mean, he's got a foot injury or something.
The tank, Chris, that's why.
Yeah, the tank. Yeah. But the 10 days, I haven't been watching a lot of the games in the interest of fairness. The last 20 games, I've been watching those condensed highlights, There's not been very many highlights.
We've all been doing that, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. I went back and watched yesterday's full game. It's the first full game I've watched in ages. But I mean, Wagner looked fantastic. And it's the first time I've ever seen him play. Who's this guy? He was gangbusters. He was great. So I don't know. I think it was good for the future, and it's good for whatever you want to.
Yeah,
I hate the tight plate.
So after this week, we sit at 20 wins and 44 losses, and that is good for fourth worst record in the league. Mind you, it's very close. The Timberwolves got one loss ahead of us, so they're in third. The Pistons have one more win and one loss again, so they're in second place. And we've got a big game coming up with them tomorrow night in Detroit. And then just over our shoulder, we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Cavs, who are at 21 and 43. So if we do win a few more games, there's a chance our ping pong balls will be a lot less. So there we go. So with Cole Anthony's buzzer beater yesterday, the second one now this season, just want to see what you guys think. What's your favourite Magic buzzer beater all time? Go to Chris.
Okay, does it have to be a shot, or can it be a dunk, or
whatever you want, mate?
Yeah, I'll take two. All right.
Okay.
One's a dunk. It's not the Dwight Howard one. It's 95. We played the Bulls. I think it was before Jordan came back, and Shaq wasn't playing, and I think Horace wasn't playing. And Kukoc spun into the lane, and I think Nick might have knocked the ball away, and Penny stole it and ran the length of the court and dunked it. Like there was less than a second left. It's fantastic. And you can see in the background, if you ever watch it, you see in the background, Brooks Thompson, this is how completely Brooks Thompson was playing. And his arms up, and he's just like, he's celebrating like he won the finals. So that was one. And Rashard Lewis in game
4.
Game 4. It was like a fadeaway 3.
In the corner.
Well, we were only down by 1, and this guy decides to bomb a fadeaway 3, falling away. It was an awful shot. And it went straight in. Yeah, I think it was those two. They're fantastic.
Was that the Cavs series?
It was get out of there, LeBron, go home. We don't want you here. Come out. After he celebrated with his game 2 trash, get him out of there.
Yeah, hey, well done, mate. You didn't swear there.
Oh, yeah, it's close.
There's time yet.
There's plenty of time.
How about you, Mikey?
I've made a list. I'm going to go with 2 as well. One, we're all going to remember this one. DJ's winner against the Raptors in game 1. That was a pretty good one. For me, Hedo Turkoglu, January 2008, I think it was, against the Celtics. Yeah. And Paul Pierce was guarding him and turned back inside, hit a 3 over him to win the game. And that was pretty special, that game.
Was that the first loss that the Celtics had that year?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, they broke their winning streak. Yeah.
Is it just that one, mate? Or have you got another one?
Yeah, DJ.
Oh, DJ, of course.
DJ,
yeah.
Mate, you are really hungover, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not feeling it, mate. I'm not feeling it. Yeah. Paul?
I'm going to go for 2 that I was there for. First one, November the 11th in 2015. Vooch. It's only a 2-point step back shot over Roy Hibbert against the Lakers for a 99-101 win in the Amway. But it's against the Lakers, and I was there for it, and I'm up and celebrating, and it peed off so many Lakers fans that were in the building. It was great. I loved it. Can't pretend any other. So that was great because it's the first buzzer beater winner that I'd been in the building for. So that, and then I've got to go with the Evan Fournier one against the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2018, November the 5th. Again, I was in the Amway. That step back 2. Just got 1 foot on the line, otherwise it would have been a beautiful 3 as well to finish it. But that had been a really entertaining game to be at. We'd been sat courtside, and it was multiple lead changes, multiple ties in the game, and for him to finish it off with that shot and then just the celebrations that followed for the team, I just loved being there for that. So I'm going to go with them. Anything significance to the team particularly, but it was great to be there, and that's what I'm going for.
That's cool.
Yours,
I'm gonna go. I'll have 2 as well, and if you all are, first one I'm going to say, and it's got to be Cole Anthony this year. That game against the Timberwolves, the fact that they had a ball at the line and there was very little time and we didn't have any timeouts, we couldn't advance the ball. And the fact he just went for it and the degree of difficulty on that shot. And let's be honest, none of us thought it was going to go in, or we might have a shot at, any sort of decent attempt. And then it went down, and it's just the surprise of it all, because we kind of earmarked that as a loss when they went to the line. So that one, and then there was another one. It was a game I think Dennis Scott went a bit crazy. I think it was on Indiana, and I think he hit a corner three back in, I want to say 96. Chris might remember it. But yeah, I can't remember the exact game. I just thought of that one now. So those two for me.
We've had some good ones, haven't we? Even like Tobias Harris's dunk breakaway with Harkless against the Thunder. That was pretty clever. That was a pretty special moment. Yeah, we've had some good ones down the years. Yeah. Dwight Howard's dunk off the alley inbounds pass from Turk.
San Antonio.
Yeah. We've had some good highlights over the years.
Yeah, cool. Right, that moves us nicely along to our guest section to get to know Chris a little bit better. So, what, Chris, is your favourite all-time Magic win? So, you might have mentioned that just 2 minutes ago, but...
No, it wasn't that. My favourite all-time Magic win was Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals in 95, when we sent the Pacers back. That was it, because I think we got swept the year before by the Pacers in the first round.
Yeah.
We were going to the final. We'd already ditched Jordan. He was gone. But yeah, that game was brilliant. It was my all-time favorite overall game, win, everything.
Yeah. No, can't argue with that one.
So Chris, given a choice, mate, are you watching dunks or are you wanting to watch threes?
Oh, mate, I've had my fill of threes the last few years. I've had enough of threes. I like post players. It's my favorite players to watch are post, like Hakeem Olajuwon and stuff like that. So I'll take dunks. Yeah, I'll take dunks over threes.
Yeah,
everybody shoots threes now.
Yeah, mate. So who would you go for as the team's best dunker in the time?
In-game dunker?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
dunker. Overall dunker.
No, let's go where it means something in game.
Dwight Howard, because he'd done it with like malice. It was malicious intent on. I can't remember what guy it was. I think it might have been Samuel Dallenberg. He took one. He got a shot from Dwight once, and he would just go up. And he was such a big guy, and he'd reach all the way back. Remember, he'd reach like all the way back and just wham. So yeah, I would say in-game dunker.
Do you remember the Celtics one where he reached right back behind him?
How did he even reach it? It was unreal.
Yeah. There was that one.
Just stuffed it.
There was another one. I think Nelson threw him an alley-oop. Was it in Philadelphia? Was it on Drew Holiday? And then they panned to this, and then they panned to this young kid in the stand. It was like, man, what have I just seen?
Why did he do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, Dwight in game. It was Dwight. He was just vicious. Yeah, in his prime, unbelievable.
So, Chris, for those who don't know you, we've obviously known you for a little while on Twitter, and you've gone through your
times I'm there, mate.
You've gone through your share of Twitter accounts, haven't you, over the years?
It's getting really hard to come back. I tell you what, it's difficult to come back. They figure it out. The last time I didn't do anything wrong, and I was just gone. Oh, what's this? And it was because I changed my profile picture to myself. It's like, how did they figure that out? Gone. Now I got some other thing. Yeah.
So the question is, how many more Twitter accounts are you going to go through?
Oh, mate, probably many.
And how long before the Twitter police get you again?
Probably today. But, mate, I've got a severe lack of people skills. I can't deal with people. I just get wound up. It's funny because I'm there and I'll write something. Someone will write something back and I'm just off. I'm saying to myself, just relax, mate, just calm down. I can't. Yeah, so it won't be long. I'll be gone.
It's quality. Love it.
So it's not that you've got no people skills, mate. It's that you can't cope with idiots.
That's true. Yeah, they've got no me skills. That's the problem.
That's the one. That's the way to look at it.
Good stuff. So out of this Magic roster as we've got at the moment, so all the young players, which one are you most excited about? So obviously we've got Fultz and Isaac, and then a lot of the new guys that we've brought in this season.
Well, Fultz is my favourite player on the team right now, but it's really difficult to get excited about him or Isaac just because of the injury. I mean, Isaac especially is so injury prone, and you hate to say it, but I mean he is. So Fultz would be my favourite player, but I think the excitement would be for Cole. And it's not even, again, it's not because of the player he is, it's just because of his attitude. He's got a winner's attitude. And eventually, winners win. And he will win. And he'll bring everybody up to that. And I think it's a matter of time.
So Cole's your guy.
Cole,
so,
yeah, I would say Cole.
So we've obviously already talked a little bit about the draft. And you've already mentioned one player. Is Mobley the one guy who you're really excited about? Is there anybody else that you're really thinking, well, I think they're the guy to go for?
It's really easy to get wrapped up in Cade just because everybody talks about him. And then he's almost like a star before he's even in the league. You know what I mean? You get wrapped up in the name. It happened with Lonzo Ball. Remember, he's going to be the next.
I was just about to say that.
Happened with Andrew Wiggins as well.
Exactly. I mean, I remember when we were tanking, everyone changed their Twitter name. This was like 8 Twitter accounts ago, and they were all tanking for Wiggins and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, I mean, he's all right, massively overpaid, but he's an average bloke. It's not like he's not a bad player, but he's not whatever.
He's not set the league alight, has he?
Exactly. No, he's not. So I think Mobley, man, he looks really good. And I don't follow college basketball. If you watch his highlights and you watch people who put up reviews of him, he looks good. I think he looks like the guy. Yeah, I think Mobley.
And do you think he'll just fit in around what we've already got a lot better than, say, Green or Cunningham? Well, Cade, I mean, he looks good, but I think we need another big. I think we need another big. I think we need a 5. I know Wendell's been great, but Mo, I'm not sold on Mo. I think Mobley would be the guy for me.
Cool.
I think you mentioned. Sorry, G. Coming back to what you said about Mo. He's this last couple of games. He's started to look a little more improved again. And I'm the same as you. I'm far from sold on him. I've not been a fan since we drafted him. There just seems to be a lack of natural play. He seems to overthink everything rather than just play with his gut. And but recently he seems to be getting back to just a little bit more of playing in the flow of the game and understanding the game. I'd love to see Mo actually prove me wrong. I'd be more than happy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the guy, his IQ for the game just doesn't sit. And in fairness to Mo, he's gone through a lot of stuff. He had no training camp, no summer. Yep. I mean, he's been injured a lot. He's dealt with COVID, and he's got these natural gifts. And if he could just get it up here and switch on. But before the draft, there were people talking about him, whether he's got a love for the game. I mean, that was before we drafted him. That was quite a prevalent kind of thing. Does Mo love the game? And he went on that LeBron James TV show, whatever it's called, and he was like, "Yeah, I love the game." And I question whether he really loves the game.
He just looks.
I'd love to see him be a success.
He looks lost when he's out on the floor at times, and you just think.
And I think he stresses himself, doesn't he? Because I've played local league basketball, and I'm obviously far apart from the NBA, but you do stress when you start making mistakes, and then they just seem to start rolling, and then once you've got in your own head, you're done. You know what I mean? And I think the guy just gets in his own head too much. And he does play for a coach who doesn't, like he said, the guy doesn't take mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, you're out.
Now, Chris, I know you've got a big jersey collection, and you and I constantly talk when there's a new drop with Mitchell and Ness. But tell me, what are your favourite jerseys that you have of the Magic?
Favourite designs or that mean something to me?
Whichever, mate, whichever.
Well, the pinstripes they're always going to be my favourite. I love the pinstripe. I actually hated the blue when it first came out. I really didn't like it. And now it's my favourite of the 3. I love it. But the ones that mean the most to me, I mean, I've still got my original champion ones. So I bought one of them's got the Penny Hardaway one's got paint on it and stuff like that. I love them. But yeah, the pinstripes are my favourite. Although the Stars are creeping up because I'm starting to miss them. I really want them to bring them back. You know, the more pictures I see of, especially the white ones. I mean, we all want the white ones back. But yeah, the Pinstripes are top, but the Stars they're getting there.
How about the City ones? Any that you prefer over maybe this year's over last year's, or the space ones?
Last year's. I really like last year's. But yeah, I think this year's is my favorite. But I like the space ones. So I didn't like the second space one with I think it just had strips down the side with the stars.
Yeah.
The first one was really nice, but this year I think this year's my favorite.
Talking about jerseys, have you guys seen any of the WNBA jerseys? Any of the designs that some of them have been coming out with? I'll tell you what, the NBA could take a leaf out of some of their books because they got some really nice designs on some of the ones I've seen on Twitter lately.
I was going to ask what the opinion was of the Orlando Magic Solar Bears one.
That's wicked. That was really good.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Yeah, they're only up for auction, aren't they? I'm watching the auction, but I'm not winning any at the moment.
Oh, is that
I'm feeling.
Still going? Is that, I've seen that you were
Yes, it's until next Friday, so I got time to convince myself I need it.
Right, I've got to ask you, Chris. Least favourite team?
The Lakers.
Lakers.
The Lakers. And the Celtics. They're really close. Yeah.
So, any reasons particularly, or can we obviously guess?
Fan base. It's the
fan base. Nice.
The fan base drive me mad. I mean, our fan base have become quite toxic, but the Lakers, they're so entitled. Do you know what I mean? They get one or two bad years, but they're never going to be bad. They're always going to win championships. You know what I mean? But I actually was quite a fan of the Lakers after Magic. They lost to the Sonics, I think, in round one of like 9-4. Felt really bad for them. But then they got Shaq, and I've never felt bad for them ever again.
Any favourite moments that we've had against them?
Every single time we've beaten them. You know what? My favourite was obviously Shaq's return, and I'm not going to swear, but we all read Shaq's lips in the pre-game when he was telling everyone to shut up. You remember that? And then we went out and sent him packing with Nick and his wobbly wiggly dance. It was wicked. Yeah, it was great.
Quality, man. Quality.
Good stuff. So let's just have a little look at the week ahead and get to some predictions. So last week we went 2 and 3. Paul went for 3 and 2, and Mikey and I went 1 and 4. So no one got it right. So
hey, mate, I genuinely thought that we were going to get the Lakers as well. We started to look close of taking that game.
We did.
I know you messaged to say I thought we were going to win that.
I know. It was all going so well, wasn't it? And then the fourth quarter happened.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So I'm claiming a part moral victory.
That's fine, mate. That's fine. It's not going to trouble the scorers, though.
I never trouble the scoreboard.
So before our next recording, we've got 3 games. So we're in Detroit Monday night. That's a midnight tip for us. Then we host the Boston Celtics with our man Hank on the PA. So that should be exciting. That is Wednesday night, midnight tip. And then we close the week off in Charlotte. So it's Friday night, but the game will be at 1 a.m. on the Saturday morning. So predictions for those 3 games, Chris?
I think we're going to beat Detroit, and we're going to lose to Boston, and I think we're going to beat the Hornets.
2 and 1.
2 and 1.
Very optimistic. Yeah. Mikey?
We're going to beat the Pistons, and we're going to lose to the Celtics and lose to the Hornets. So I'm going 1 and 2.
Paul?
I do think we're going to beat Pistons. I just don't see us not having that spirit to go out and compete and play them really hard. But like Mikey, unfortunately, I think that the other 2 are going to be losses. I hate saying it. I hate predicting a losing week.
I think if LaMelo wasn't back for the Hornets, I might have just edged us on that one. But yeah, Even
Oh, I don't
Boston haven't been good on the road this season either.
No.
So, do you know what I mean? Like we said, the way this team competes, like we almost threw the game away against the Cavs, but then we come back last night against the Grizzlies. You just think the way we play, I said this weeks ago, the way this team plays and the grit and the determination, we're going to stay in a lot of games. But like we said last week, this is a competition. So we all want to be right.
Gee, are you wanting Evan to come back and drop 60?
No, because he plays for the Celtics, and I hate the Celtics.
Does that mean you hate Evan now?
Yeah.
No.
He changed his son's name.
He's a Celtic, mate, so you must hate him. Right?
No, if we were to win a game this week, I'd rather it be the Celtics. But like what you guys think, I think we'll beat the Pistons. I think we'll probably be quite close with the Hornets as well. I don't think they're all that. But I'll go 1-2 for the week with a win against the Pistons, I think.
That hangover is really bad today, isn't it, G?
It is, yeah.
You're normally quite quick with some of your comebacks, but you haven't got anything tonight.
You're just letting it wash over you. It's either you let it wash over you or you haven't realised it's hit you.
So
I don't think we're going to get swept by anybody. I don't think we're going to get absolutely battered. Don't see that.
No.
Right, so it's time for Magic Trivia. Paul's favourite time of the week. So I have 3 Who Am I's. And I'm gonna pick these for you guys. So I'll let Chris go first because I've got one which is a bit more in his timeline of being a fan, and then so forth. So clue number 1, I was drafted 10th overall in the 1987 NBA draft.
Mate, that just makes me sound really old. His time as a fan, and then we mentioned just in the 80s. Oh, carry on.
You're not taking the elder statesman. The elder statesman mantle is mine.
Just to make you feel a bit older, Chris, I was born in 87, so there we go.
I was born in the 70s.
Yeah, well, I was in the 60s.
What wins?
Okay, clue number 2. I'm a 4-time NBA champion. So this guy has played for the Magic.
Played for the Magic, 4-time NBA champion. Horace Grant, is it?
No. It is Horace Grant. Well done. Got it on the second clue.
Nice shot.
All right.
So the third clue was I had 2 tenures in Orlando. The fourth clue was I had career averages of 11.2 points, 8.1 rebounds. And the last clue was I wore goggles and the number 54.
Mate, if it took that for me to get it, that's enough, right? I'd have to switch it off and go, terrible.
Well, I was going to put in the university, Clemson, but I thought you'd have got that, I think.
I got that one.
So who wants to go next, Paul or Mikey?
Well, it's going downhill, whichever way.
I'm going to say, yeah, you may as well finish with after the Lord Mayor's parade with me, because I'll need all the help I can get every week.
All right, let's go with you, Paul. Let's go with you. Okay, clue number 1. Okay. I was born in Cookeville, Tennessee on June 24th, 1986.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Okay. Clue number 2. This is my 15th NBA season. So he's current active player.
Is it somebody who's with us or has been with us, mate?
He has been with the Magic at some point in his career.
What year was he born?
1986. On his 15th season in the NBA. Next clue.
Yeah, go on, mate, because DJ's 87. Born 87.
Okay. Whilst in the NBA, I've worn the following jersey numbers while playing for 6 different franchises. So he's worn the numbers 4, 5, 7, or 17.
Mate, you know I'm crap at this. Go on.
Okay. I played college for the Duke Blue Devils.
Never going to help me.
No?
You might.
No,
Okay.
I don't. I've got no idea on college basketball, mate. I don't even. I have to look at I've got to look at something for this draft side of things. I've got no idea on college. I don't actually understand why, when it comes to commentary, they keep mentioning these things. It just washes over me.
Yeah. And the last clue, he was drafted 11th overall by the Magic in the 2006 NBA draft, wore number 7, his tenure with the Magic.
No, mate.
And he's a fan favourite.
Yeah, I'll throw one more in there. Sabrina. It's one of Sabrina's favourites.
Oh, is it JJ then?
It is JJ Redick.
Okay.
Well done.
Okay.
Right,
Mate,
Michael.
not a chance.
Come on, then, Garrett. Let's go.
Go on then. Clue 1. I was drafted 35th overall in the 2007 NBA draft. Nope. 2. I attended Louisiana State University. So LSU.
Play for the Magic. 35th to play for LSU.
Yeah.
Go next.
There's a bit of a tedious link of this one. I played for the Magic between 2011 and 2014.
Oh man, I hate this. My mind just goes blank.
See, this is where I'm so pleased that somebody else struggles with this.
Airhead at this time. No, go on.
No, I played the power forward position.
I'm not doing very well at this. Go on. Last one.
I wore number 11 for the Magic and the Celtics.
Oh no. Now I know why you're. Oh, no. Should we tell this story?
Go on, then.
Right,
You can say
before I give you the answer, Chris, have you got any jerseys that you've bought before that you regret buying?
Oh yes, mate.
Go on then. What's your top one?
The worst one. Well, it's not even a Magic one. I bought a Kobe Bryant Lakers jersey. Yeah. It's devastated, mate. I don't even know why I've done it. It was in town. They don't sell them around. I was like, an NBA jersey. I gotta buy it. I bought it. Yeah. Terrible.
Well, mine's Big Baby Davis. So that's the answer to that question.
Yeah,
but I soon sold it when I saw the light, G, didn't I?
You did. You did. In fairness to you.
Get it out.
We
of
keep
my
ribbing you.
collection.
Every time we see a Big Baby Davis jersey on eBay, I send it to Mikey and I'm like, do you want another one?
Mate, that's probably the worst jersey I've ever bought by a million miles.
A moment of weakness.
I wouldn't even call it that. Stupidity, I think.
So, thanks for tuning in. Please remember to follow all our social media accounts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Remember to visit OrlandoMagicUK.com for all our articles, game previews, and everything else Magic related. If you're looking to buy some Magic merchandise, please use our affiliate links and remember to use Magic UK 10 for a 10% discount. Thank you to Chris for coming on this week. Hope you had fun, mate.
Thank you, boys. Yeah, appreciate it. It was a good time.
Been good, mate. I enjoyed you.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. So until next time, go Magic. So two questions on that.
Okay.
Why wasn't it called the Galante and Dante show?
That is a damn fine question, Grant. I ask that all the time. All the time. It should absolutely have been the Galante. And I always say, like, the way you pronounce my last name is Galante. Everybody, and it's happened my whole life, and I don't correct people because it's not that big a deal. Like, I've been called way worse, so if you're going to call me Galante, like, that's fine. Like I said, I've been called way worse, so if that's the worst it's going to happen, like, it's okay. And I told Dante, I was like, you know what, this should be the Galante and Dante show. Why do I have to change how I'm pronouncing my name just to fit you into the bill? So yeah, that's a good question. Next time if you have Dante on, that should be the question that's asked to Dante. He's a glory hog. Cool. That's why that guy's a glory hog. He just wants all the attention to himself. He can't stand sharing the spotlight.